All right. Welcome everybody to the Cluster API AWS Provider Office Hours this October 30th, 2023. As a reminder, we follow the CNCF Code of Conduct, which basically means please be respectful and excellent to one another. At the beginning of this meeting, we give an opportunity for anyone who'd like to say hello or introduce themselves. So I will go on mute. And yeah, if you'd like to, please take a moment. Okay, I'm going to take that as a sign that no one is going to introduce themselves. So let's get to the agenda. The office hours are in the calendar invite, but I'll also paste the link in the chat. Please add yourself to the attending list, and if you've got anything on the agenda, please add it there. All right, we'll start with the PSAs. Richard? Uh, Do I have a sound problem? Can anyone else hear Richard?
You might be on mute, Richard.
Is that any better?
Yes, you're back.
The amount of time I waste on audio settings in my life is just anyway. I digress. Yeah, so I've just put a PR up that proposes two changes to the maintainers and reviewers. Goge is going to step down as a maintainer and move to emeritus, and Jose is going to step up to being a reviewer. So it will stay open for a week. So it'll merge next Monday, unless anyone has any objections in the meantime. But yeah, feel free to put your comments there. Yeah, it's a bit sad that Goge is moving on, because he's done a lot of work for Kappa over his tenure here. So but he'll be, wherever he's going, he'll make a big impact. But yeah, cool. That's it.
Thanks. Yeah, this is the, sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen earlier. This is the PR. All right. And now we've got some issues on the agenda. Yes. So there are, well, I get anyway. I guess maybe that's a separate thing. But there are some. I think we don't have images for some of the most recent patch Kubernetes versions in 127, possibly 126 as well. And those images are right now they're being created by someone with access to the account which we use, which is owned by VMware. I think originally inherited from Heptio. So in the past, I know that we've looked at moving this automation, let's say, for building the images, and more importantly, to the, I guess, the ownership and the long-term maintenance or storage of the images to, I guess, a CNCF owned account. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of revive that, I guess, yeah, bring that discussion up again. I know that this issue describes some of the requirements. I want to go through and figure out if they're still valid. And I also just have some other questions about, do we have access to published AMIs in any of the, I guess, accounts that we currently use for CI, for example? Does anyone know of other infra providers using a CNCF account to publish images? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, last time, so this is when ZF was still around. Or was it with Ankit? But anyway, the last time we started to look into this was we went down the rabbit hole of trying to find out a AWS account that we would publish these to. And then that got us into a discussion around how do we get those credentials. So I know Abhinav and so therefore Ankita were working with Kate's Infra to work out what account that would be, because Boscos at the moment only hands out the I guess the credentials to the CI account as opposed to credentials for an account that we can permanently use to store AMIs. So from what I remember, that was the stumbling block. I don't think we ever got to the bottom of that. Because that would need to be resolved. Because I know Abhinav he did a whole bunch of work around how we would actually publish them, and he did the GitHub Actions flows, so that they could be run from GitHub Actions and also from Prow in the future when we had those creds. It's a bit hazy though. Apart from that, but yeah, we definitely need to find an account first.
Thanks, Richard. So, best thing to do would be to maybe revive those threads. So you said Abhinav? I'm not.
Yeah, I think it was Abhinav. I thought I'll dig out the links. I can't remember whether it was Kate's to Kate's Infra, whatever it is, or GitHub management Slack channel, but we can find those. Where those discussions we went around in circles at the time.
Okay. And does anyone know of any other infra providers that are doing this?
I guess we could look at something like Hops or some other AWS
Great
type
idea.
project. There's definitely accounts we can use. It's just finding them and getting the credentials.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I'll reach out to Justin, or maybe attend the office hours. Okay. Any? Oh, I guess. And on a related note, there is currently an issue with Cloud Init on Ubuntu in AWS, and there is a workaround, potentially a PR to Image Builder, although it should be, I guess, kind of a temporary change,
Mm.
because the issue should be, or needs to be fixed in Cloud Init. But yeah, we're asking for those images to be built, but there are some complications because they have to be built using a specific Cloud Init version. But yeah, they're keeping track of that in the Slack channel. All right. Any other comments about this topic? All right. Thank you. Let's next agenda item, Richard.
Yeah, it was just more to call to attention. There's just a small PR there that makes a very small change to the EKS reconciliation to try and get some of the. Oh, I need to. I'll rebase my. I'll squash my commits. I've just seen that. That was yeah, but yeah, just make a small change to get some of the EKS end-to-end tests all green again. I have run all of the EKS ones mainly, so the garbage collector, the normal one, and the other one, and it appears to be passing. So yeah, if anyone has time, be good to get some other eyes on that, because I think some of the other later PRs are failing on the end-to-end test runs.
Is this specifically because we're not sure if there's a bug somewhere, and sometimes we're getting subnets that aren't associated with the route table, or
I mainly added that in at the time when I was looking at it, but then I thought probably is quite useful to have that in there, because it goes down one of two paths basically at that point.
okay.
And I was seeing it exhausting the limit on, I think it was route tables at the time. It went round and exceeded the 200. It was just went in a big loop.
I see. All right, thank you. I'll review it after the meeting. That looks like the end of the agenda. Is there anything else that we want to bring up? I know that there was just a message in Slack about I think an issue with test conformance test failing, and I'm trying to understand. I think the context for this is Alpha 3 release cut is approaching. We're talking about the next Kubernetes release.
Yeah, because I guess some of our tests are marked as release blocking, I think.
Got it.
Or release informing, I forget the terminology, but yeah, if they start to fail, it comes up on the upstream Kubernetes release
Okay.
grid or whatever they call it.
Okay. As I'm looking at this, I will look at this, and I'm wondering if this is for images that have been recently created. They may be affected by this CloudInit issue, and that's why nothing is coming up. So,
I also have a. Sorry, go on, Tony.
Oh no. This might be a good motivation, is that we could go into Kate's inference and say, listen, we want to unblock the Kubernetes release. Could we please build images and store AMIs in the CNCF point account?
Yeah, why not? I think there was also I think I might have been the conformance test. There was also some suggestion previously that it was running out of disk space, but I can't remember. Let me just see if I can find that in Slack. 2 seconds. Should be in my threads somewhere. Ah, here we go. Me. Just putting the link into the thread. There.
Sorry, I muted. Did you want me to open up this Slack link or?
Yeah, might be worth it if you can.
Okay,
Cool.
let's see if I can. Let's see if I can.
Oh,
Okay.
it worked.
Okay. This is. Uh-huh. Okay. Um, okay. That's, I guess, surprising. But yeah, and that's something that we can adjust in just our cluster template that we use.
Yeah, if it is truly like disk space of the actual nodes, then yeah, we should be able to just do it in the machine templates. But I don't know if that is false positive or something. Have to investigate.
Okay, so that seems like an important issue to look at, and then to review your fix. Okay. Anything else before we wrap up? Okay. I'll stop recording.